Well, the cleanup process after a storm can be a very difficult undertaking. You want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself mentally and physically while you get your home back in shape. Dr. Jeree Ducombs with the American Heart Association is joining us this morning to have some tips on how you can stay healthy as you undertake all of this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is a stressful situation for a lot of people. They tend to physically overexert themselves, and it's just stressful for your mental health as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are so many risks after a natural disaster like the one we just experienced. You know, we have a lot of concerns about people experiencing electrocution from downed power lines, carbon monoxide poisoning from generators, injuries from falling objects, from using power tools that they're not used to using, from overexerting themselves to heat exposure, dehydration, so many different things. We see a lot of worsening of chronic health conditions like asthma, diabetes, and heart disease. Because sometimes people lack access to their normal medications. Like I said, they get dehydrated. They don't have access to their normal healthy foods. They have a lot of environmental exposures, maybe to mold, heat, that sort of thing. Plus, upper respiratory infections become really common in people who have congregated in shelters. So just a whole host of potential problems, not to mention the mental health issues from the stress of the storm itself and the aftermath of cleanup and damage to their homes and their livelihoods.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of stress out there. I remember after Katrina, we saw heart attack rates rise. Why is that correlated with storms?
Absolutely. So there are multiple studies showing an increase in the risk of heart attack after a natural disaster. And you're right, after Katrina, the Gulf area residents saw a threefold increase in the rate of heart attack immediately after the storm. And that risk was extended for up to a year after the storm. And a lot of that has to do with stress. The stress hormones that are released when you experience something of this magnitude, plus the overexertion. And like I said, you know, when you're displaced, you can run out of your medications. You're not eating your normal healthy diet that your doctor might have prescribed for you. All of those things are bad for the heart and can lead to an increase in blood pressure, lack of glucose control. They also increase the risk of stroke too.
And there are some simple things folks can do to try to lower that stress and stay safe. So kind of tell us some of those simple things like making sure you're drinking a lot of water if you're outside cleaning up all day.
That's right. That's right. If you wait until you're thirsty, you've probably waited too long, especially in the heat and humidity that we've been experiencing lately. So making sure that you stay well hydrated, trying not to work in the hottest parts of the day, taking frequent breaks, asking friends, family, neighbors, maybe your church or work community to help, especially if you are doing some heavy physical labor that you're not used to doing, and just being patient. We have so much to clean up. It's not going to be done in a day or a week, and maybe not even a month. And just understanding that, you know, it's going to take some time. You know, talking with someone, with a family member, a friend, someone you trust, making sure that you're getting enough sleep and taking your medications, just taking good care of yourself.
And where can you go for help if you find any of this overwhelming?
So the American Heart Association has a lot of resources available. For example, medication assistance programs, hospital maps, stress management tips, mental health resources, all at www.heart.org/disaster resources. So that's kind of long. It's www.heart.org/disaster-resources. And the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has a disaster distress helpline, which provides crisis counseling and support to people during and after natural disasters. And you can speak with a trained counselor 24/7 by calling 1-800-985-5990 or by texting all one word, "Talk with us" to 66746.
All right, Dr. Ducombs, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.